Hi, guys. Welcome back to Marantz. Rantz, plenty of good information, a little bit of motivation, a whole lot of truth, no financial advice. This is Connecting the Dots, Part 4. Yes, Part 4. Full disclosure, these are not conspiracy theories. We're connecting the dots for a couple of reasons. To enlighten the crowd, let you guys know exactly what to look for when you're investing. You just never know who's invested into your stock. You don't know who's on the board. You should do your homework. You should follow the company closely, because if you're putting money in, I expect that you respect your money. It's not a gamble, it's an investment. So that's why we do this. And as far as connecting these dots and letting you know the names and everything that we're trying to memorize and or pay attention to moving forward, you'll recognize them. That light bulb will go off in your head and you'll be like, okay, now I know who's here and what might be the reason for them to be here. You know that we're investing in Bed Bath & Beyond, AMC, and GameStop. That has a focus right now of the Reddit community, YouTube community, and of course, Twitter. So I'm just telling you, yes, I'm focused on those, but let's use the correlations of them, okay? So I'm digging deep, and for all the right reasons. Here we go. I was reading for a couple of hours right now because some of you guys know this stuff, but my wife is in commercial real estate. So she comes home and she'll tell me what companies are not renewing their leases, what companies are expanding, all those things. And it sounds great. Like when you get the whole rundown, you're like, oh, wow, they're closing. Oh, they're opening. That's how I knew Bed Bath & Beyond was closing half their stores. And I made the video well before anyone announced Bed Bath & Beyond was going to shut down stores, well before they filed for bankruptcy. Things like that happen. So I'm here and I'm telling you, Smart & Final, okay, is shutting down everything in Southern California. Now, Smart & Final is a grocery store per se. When I grew up, they're like a poor man's Costco. You don't need a membership, but they sell big quantities of any item that they do have. So if you wanted a large jar of pickles, you would go there. I don't eat pickles, but whatever. I'm just giving you an example. They're going to go ahead and close down. So I was like, hey, babe, Smart & Final, really? So I wanted to today, this afternoon, go read up on Smart & Final because I wanted to know what happened. The business model fail? What are the doors? I mean, what are they doing? Did they overextend? I wanted to know everything. And when I started digging, guys, I should have known. All right, go with me. Let's get it. Here we go, Smart & Final. So I go to Smart & Final, and I'm started looking at them. I just want to get some history behind it as I was doing the homework today. And what I found out was in 2007, Smart & Final was acquired by Apollo Global Management. Red flag right there. Boom. Acquired in 2007 by Apollo. And I'm just like, okay, are they going to follow the same suit as every other company that was acquired by Apollo during that time frame? And that means expand beyond belief, can't hold it, then they get sold off, and then they move on. So right here, Apollo sold its stake to Ares Management for $975 million. And I was like, oh, they sold off. Then Smart & Final went public in 2014. So that was a big deal to me. And I'm going to show you the ticker. I'm going to show you all that stuff at the end of this video. There's a reason. So I saw, okay, they sold to Ares Management. Wow. Then I saw that Apollo once again acquired them for $1.1 billion. And they had financed the previous two buyouts, but they took a loss. No, Deutsche Bank didn't take a loss. Who cares who took a loss? I'm trying to figure this out. So they bought them after they went public. They bought them all up. And then they took them private again in 2019. They sold them to Ares. So I'm like, who the hell is Ares? Guys, I have people sending me information, right? And some guy was like, hey, man, you should check this out. You should check this out. And I was like, okay, I'll check that out. And it didn't pan out the way he said. So I was like nervous to even look at other things. But I'll give you some bonus stuff in there. So right here, Apollo is to exit the Smart & Final deal to a Mexican retailer. And they spun it. They took the 1.1 that they bought them for, and they ended up making $1.6 billion off of that amount. So they made an extra $500 million, which is a lot of money, guys. I know you guys are out there are numb to the numbers because you're so used to seeing things. But as I looked at this and I went through it all, and I was reading about everybody, I'll show you exactly what I stumbled onto, okay? Right here, they're getting sued. So one of the investors that held the stock and did whatever they could do was like, there's no way that we took that deal for $1.1 million, $1.1 billion, I'm sorry, and then they sold it for $1.6 billion. Like they're going to get sued because they had a better offer on the table, and they did, but they didn't do the better offer. They sold it back to Apollo. And I'm like, how? If you're on the board of directors for Smart & Final, which I'll tell you who's on that board of directors, Ares is. And you're like, who the hell is Ares? So I had to go look into all that, right? Smart & Final becomes private equity again, and here's how they did it. They sold off. So I went ahead and looked, and I was doing all the homework. Ares Management, right here, and they bought them in 2012. Ares bought them, and for $975 million. So we're going to go in there and we're going to look up. This is the prospectus for Aries when they went public. And you're going to see the names I highlighted down here. The names are Michael Arrighetti, R. Kip Devar, I don't know who the hell that is, David Kaplan, Anthony Resler, and Bennett Rosenthal. Yeah, guys. Who are they? Who are the founding fathers of this company? Anybody have any idea who Aries is? Who did Apollo sell them to? Now look at Aries. When they went public, look at this. This is how many companies they filed to go public with. And why did they do that? This is all in their name, a different variation. This is where you hide your funds. This is the criminal network that I know Citadel does. I know these guys do. They're all criminals at that point. But Aries management has those guys as their founding fathers. So I was like, damn, all right, let's go look them up. So when I go in there, okay, that's Michael Arrighetti. We'll talk about him in a minute. Just not yet. So I have it here somewhere. I'm going to get there. David Kaplan, one of the founders, right? Co-founder, director, and partner, co-chairman of private equity group, Aries Management. David Kaplan, who are you, David? David Kaplan served as a senior principal. No, I don't care about that. I care about this one. Was a senior partner at Apollo Management. Kaplan was a member of the investment banking, blah, blah, blah. Now, why do I tell you that? He's on the board of directors for Smart and Final, okay? Yeah, I'm following Smart and Final right now, guys. This company that I grew up with, I shop with, and my wife tells me going out of business, I want to know what's going on, Apollo. Explain it to me, that this guy who's one of the founding fathers of Apollo is now in Aries. Because I'll tell you what happened. All the guys that I named over there on Aries, David Kaplan is one of the founders of Apollo. They were the ones originally who did Apollo. This is also Aries right here. John Kissick, whatever his name is. He's the co-founder. He's retired. Aries co-founder John Kissick. Who is he? He co-founded Apollo Management in 1990. He used to work at the Drexel, Branham, and all that, the bad guys with Mike Mikan and stuff. So I'm just letting you know, Bennett Rosenthal, same thing. All of these guys are descendants of Apollo. And when I look at it, guys, I'm gonna explain to you exactly what all this means for a second, okay, guys? When you are Apollo, and I was reading up on Apollo, it's crazy, because then I found out Apollo right here. In the dot-com bubble right here, in 1997, Aries Management was founded by Anthony Resler, John Kissick, both partners at Apollo, as well as Bennett Rosenthal, who joined the group and who was group leverage, whatever financial group with Merrill Lynch. So all these dudes were already together at Apollo. They came over here and they formed Aries. So tell me, guys, tell me how you're allowed to do a deal to yourself. They literally sold it to Aries. Apollo sold to Aries. It goes public. I'll explain to you what happened when it went public. And now Apollo comes back in, buys it for nothing. People, Smart and Final, agreed to sell it to Apollo. Who agreed to sell it to Apollo? The people that were on the board. Who was on the board? Aries was on the board. Okay? Now, who is Aries? I'm not ever going to take this away. So Aries is this guy, Tony Resler. He's the Apollo Global Management. He's the founder. He co-founded that with Leon Black. And they both worked, Leon Black and him both worked at Drexel, the place. I keep saying it all the time. Drexel Branham Lambert. I got to get out. Remember, guys, a lot of names. So that Drexel Branham Lambert, if you guys don't know, that was like the most corrupt junk bond hedge fund ever. They actually were shut down by the government in 1990. The government shut them down because they were so criminal. And these guys all raised from it. They all broke off. They made Apollo. There was another one they made too. And I was reading up on it. It's called like Pegasus or something. I got to go back into that one too. So Mark Rowan, Josh Harris, Michael Gross, and then this guy, right? So there's a lot of them. But now when I went into this, I said, hold up. His sister is Deborah Resler, right? His name is Tony Resler. That's Tony Resler, Apollo turned Aries, all right? His sister is Deborah Resler. Go to his sister. Deborah Resler is also Deborah Black. Yes, she is the wife of Leon Black. All right, let me explain this connection for you so we can all be on the same page. Apollo owns Smart and Final, okay? Leon Black, he's the creator of Apollo. He sells it to his brother-in-law, Tony Resler, who's at Aries. Do you guys get this connection yet? How is that not a conflict of interest? How are they allowed to do this deal? Now I know he has a brother too, and I'm talking about Ressler. He has another brother called Anthony Ressler. He is Anthony Ressler. That's Tony. There's another brother I have to go look up because they were together at Drexel, Branham and Lambert. I have to see the whole connection to it. I'm still getting through it all, but let me tell you guys, how the hell is Deborah Black, who's the wife of Leon Black, also the sister of this guy? I hope you guys got the connection. I hope I explained it the right way. I don't want to speak over it too much. Now, here you go. Are they all connected? Of course. Apollo, Ares, Oaktree. I told you the 5 most famous private equity firms are. I told you like in part 2. Ares management names Michael Arigati as the CEO. So Marco Arigati took over at Ares. Now, if you guys don't know, they have partners with like KKR. They do all the, like everybody's all together. Marco Arigati says no one was prepared for the pandemic, which apparently they all were. And they're all partnered up on that. But we'll keep going. Ares CEO Arigati bets on retail revolution. Now, I'm scared for this, okay, for alternatives, because this is April 7, 2022. So now you're betting on retail, and I'm worried about how they're doing it. But I'll give you a guy, like this is like one of the bad guys right here. Apollo's Larry Berg, a private equity senior partner to retire. When you look at Larry Berg, you want to know if he's tied to anybody? Berg was a member of the mergers acquisitions group, Drexel Branham Lambert Inc. Yes, he's been with Apollo for 30 years. But if you go all the way down, guys, Berg, who is Apollo, okay? He's Apollo. He owns a football team, Los Angeles Football Club. He owns it with the Ares Management Capital Corp, co-founders Bennett Rosenthal and Mike Arigati. I'm just telling you, they're all together, right? Like they're literally doing deals outside of the stock market together. But we'll go more into it because you know I've got more. So this right here, this is going to be, I was still reading on Kaplan, which you guys are fine. You knew what happened there. There's Rosenthal. You know that he's a partner now. Apollo themselves and Leon Black, they just come from bad seeds. We've gone over that before. I don't want to beat it over the head. Something like this. And when you look at Leon Black and why he went ahead and stepped down, he stepped down in March of 2021, I believe. I want to get that date right. But it was because his ties with Jeffrey Epstein. He facilitated hundreds of millions of dollars to him, and as what he called accounting fees, or tax fees, I should say. But Leon Black had to step down. When Leon Black stepped down, it didn't change. It didn't skip a beat for them because there was a stock. It was called ESW. I really haven't looked into this whole story, but it happened. And they were told that they were going to, how can I put it? Insider trading. They were going to get brought up on insider trading and that they had to drop the charges and they did a $1 billion buyout or else Leon Black would go to prison. Okay. Now, what happens here, look who did the deal. Okay. Richard Ressler. Richard Ressler is the brother. All right. I just want to put this out there, is the brother to Tony Ressler, Anthony Ressler. Yes, they're brothers. Also the brother of Deborah Black, who is Leon Black's wife. So have you guys figured this out? They're all keeping each other out of prison. It's just too much for me. So the link between them all is ridiculous. That family tree of Leon Black's family, they're criminals. Even the kids are up under the scope. He has 2 kids, I believe his sons, and you guys can do the homework on this. I haven't gone too far into it. I'll get his kids' names right now. Because you remember, I've still got to figure this out, how Jeffrey Epstein actually became a billionaire, and he went ahead and bought L Brands, Leslie Wexner, bought all their, took like billions of dollars out of that. I got to go watch that video again, the Jeffrey Epstein documentary. Maybe it'll give me some insight of what I'm looking at here. I can't remember the kids' names. I thought that was listed here. I'm pretty sure it was. But that's what happened, guys. They kept each other. There it is, Benjamin and Joshua Black. Yeah, go look them up. I'm still not done yet. So if you look at the company that is Anthony Ressler, there's another company with who's the other Ressler brother. And watch this. Corey Colvett, this is just some guy. He works for Apollo, but before he did, he worked at Cole Capital. Cole Capital is a company. Oh, hey, shout out to Devin here. Devin Ledesma. I was looking up people. Let's give her a shout out, please, guys. She should be the spotlight. She used to be a server at Sullivan's, and that's what she did. just a couple of years ago, 2004 to 2007. She was served for 3 years. And then out of nowhere, she became assistant branch manager at Rent-A-Car, Enterprise Rent-A-Car. So she was selling cars. And then out of nowhere, she got to Cole Capital. Then she got the Griffin Capital Company. And now she's at Apollo. Dude, she's winning. I'm sorry, guys. This girl's winning. Shout out to her. You made the clip. Apollo nixes purchase of AR Capital, buys broker-dealer. So here's the thing. Apollo was in there in the bidding for this. This is all about real estate here. But when you look at it, nobody was worried about it because it wasn't Apollo that ended up buying in. It was actually CIM. And I believe that's what it's called. CIM is the company that the other Rasner brother runs. So Anthony Rasner and his brother Richard runs another company, a whole firm. Okay, see, I believe it's CIM. If I'm mistaken, if I said it wrong, let me know. I really don't care at this moment because I'm going to try to get to this point for you guys. So this is another company I need to look out for, guys. This is 26 North Partners. If you see their name anywhere, be on the lookout. That is Josh Harris. That is one of the original founders of Apollo. He broke off. He formed his own. And this was just in September. So September 14th, he started forming this company. And he's partnered up with some Lance West, who's from Goldman. He's partnered up with Evan Zemsky, and he's from Apollo. So watch out. And that's all I'm saying. But I want to show you guys this, okay? I'm going to end it this way. So this to your left is Smart and Final. This is how I got here, okay? Wife tells me Smart and Final is going out of business. I want to know what's going on with the company. I go find out it's Apollo-based. I'm like, this is crazy. They sold it to Ares, who is Apollo already, and then it's their family, and then they sold it back to these guys. Look at what they did with the stock. They went public in 2014, and they took this stock, and they gutted it all the way down. They took it all the way down when they got it to a fraction of what it could be, okay, on a publicly traded company where they already got bonuses. They all got paid out. All the board of directors are who again? Ares Capital guys. Everybody's making money off of this stock in this company. Then at the lower share price of $6.50, here we go. Here comes back in Apollo to buy them back out. And they bought them and they took them private and then they spun it and they made $1.6 billion. Okay? Who's making money off these deals? The shareholders are not going to make anything. I'm going to show you a similar stock that maybe you guys are familiar with. This is AMC. AMC went public same time frame, 2013, 2014. They went public via Apollo. Apollo's the company that owned them beforehand. They put their guy on the board. They put their guy on the team. This is what happened to the stock. This is how it performed this whole time frame. Remember, Adam Aron's here. He got to the company here in 2015, 2016. They pumped it up and then they dumped it. And they dumped it all the way down. You think that someone's on your side? I don't think Adam Aron's on your side. I know he is a plant from Apollo and he's doing exactly what he's supposed to do. What the chart that you guys are looking at is this chart. You guys are looking at this pump that happened because retail showed up, manipulation showed up. And now look at what they're doing to you. And you're going to end up right back down to where you were until you're sold to private equity. Count it. Book it. It's going to happen, guys. I know the debt. I know who owns the debt. And I know all the fingers inside of that damn stock. Hey, I'm not a fortune teller, guys. I'm just telling you I can read the chart just like you can. I saw it happen with the company that I used to shop with daily. And now I look at this and it's going to happen with AMC as well. Own the stock all you want, guys. Be cautious. The relationships are there between Apollo, Ares, back to Apollo. How is that legal? That's why they got sued. And I don't know the outcome of that lawsuit, but I'll keep digging. But thank you guys so much for this. I'll post another video when I find more connections on other companies and other things. But these are things that I care about, and I just want to share them with you guys. Appreciate everything, guys. GameStop. Can't stop, won't stop, GameStop. They're not infiltrated. I'll see you around, millionaires. Peace.